Have you ever noticed how the more you try to control everything, the more life slips through your fingers? We often think that having control will calm our fears. But what if it's actually the root of our anxiety? Buddha once said, "You only lose what you cling to." And yet, when life gets shaky, we grip even harder. We micromanage every little detail. We run through endless what-ifs. We try to brace ourselves against every possible outcome, as if that will keep us from falling apart. But here's the truth. Life was never meant to be predictable. So ask yourself honestly, how much of your stress, your fear, your sleepless nights come from trying to hold on to things that were never really in your hands to begin with? This video isn't just about letting go. It's about becoming mentally stronger by learning how to let go. You'll discover a simple shift in mindset, one that helped monks remain calm in chaos, warriors stay centered in battle, and ancient thinkers find peace in the middle of pain. Yes, life is wild. It changes without warning. It doesn't care if you're ready. But once you understand this one simple idea, everything gets lighter. Everything makes more sense. And if you stick around until the end, there's a bonus lesson that might just change the way you live. It's not just powerful, it's liberating. Number 1, let go or be dragged. Think about this for a second. How often does your suffering come not from the situation itself, but from your desperate attempt to control it? There's a timeless truth that's easy to say, but hard to live. Let go or be dragged. Picture this. You're holding a burning coal, clutching it tighter, convinced that more control will somehow protect you. But the tighter you hold, the deeper it burns. That's exactly what we do with pain, guilt, anger, and regret. We grasp at them as if they'll give us clarity or control, but all they truly give us is pain. Buddhism never asks you to suppress your feelings. It asks you to stop becoming attached to them. There's a subtle but life-changing difference. You only lose what you cling to. That one sentence cuts straight through our modern chaos. Yet most people still confuse letting go with weakness, like it means surrendering to life. But here's the truth. Resistance is what traps us. Acceptance is what frees us. Ever caught yourself looping over the same thought, replaying a moment, wishing it had gone differently? Whether it's fear of what lies ahead, guilt for what's past, or disappointment in where you are now, it's not the moment that hurts. It's your unwillingness to accept it. Zen wisdom says, let go or be dragged. That dragging you feel. It's not life. It's your fight against what's already here. In our modern world, we're sold the illusion that control brings peace. We're told to prepare, to plan, to predict every twist of fate. But deep inside, there's a part of you that still can't sit quietly in uncertainty. And that's where the suffering grows. Real peace doesn't live in the known. It's found in the space where you stop trying to force answers and start letting things unfold. So ask yourself, what am I gripping that's quietly tearing me apart? Maybe it's an old belief, a false identity, or a future you thought you were supposed to have by now. But the truth is, the tighter you hold on, the heavier life becomes. Here's a shift to try. The next time life overwhelms you, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask instead, what am I still clinging to? That one question can break chains. Right now, pause, breathe. Is there something inside you, some tension, some truth you've been avoiding, something you know deep down needs to be released? Maybe this is the moment, not because life will magically fix itself, but because you'll finally stop fighting it. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about growing beyond the need to control. It's walking through the storm without needing to change the weather. It's realizing that peace doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from standing calmly in the middle of the unknown. And when you really let go, not just mentally, but in how you live, you'll see. Life doesn't become easier because chaos ends. It becomes easier because you stop clinging to the flame. Peace begins the very moment you stop resisting what already is. 2. Observe without absorbing. Storms never knock before they enter. They rush in, wild and without warning. But have you ever noticed that the sky never pushes them away? It holds space for the rain, the thunder, the chaos, and still remains untouched. Your mind can be just like that. The moment you stop trying to control every storm and instead become the sky that holds it, something shifts. You begin to experience peace, not by avoiding the chaos, but by not becoming part of it. Observe without absorbing. That's the quiet rule most of us forget. In today's world, where distractions pull at your focus and every emotion demands your attention, this might feel impossible. But it's not. It's the difference between getting swept up in every wave and learning how to surf. You are not your anxiety. You are not your frustration. These emotions are like clouds passing through the wide open space of your awareness. They come and go, but they are not you. The real you is the space in which they happen. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." That's not just something to print on a poster. It's a daily survival skill in a world overflowing with noise. If you're always searching for peace in your environment, in other people, in the news, in how the day unfolds, you'll constantly be disappointed. Because the world won't stop spinning, but your mind can stop absorbing every bump in the ride. Picture yourself in a noisy room. Thoughts are loud, emotions are louder, but then you pause, you take a breath, and you whisper to yourself, "This is just a thought. I don't have to believe it." Suddenly, you're no longer drowning. You've become the stillness behind the noise. Every day gives you moments like this. When someone's words sting, when your mind starts racing, or when the world just feels too loud. In those moments, ask yourself, do I have to react, or can I simply notice this and let it pass? That one pause is where peace lives. Most people absorb the world like a sponge. They take in every insult, every worry, every fear, and carry it as if it's part of who they are. No wonder they feel so heavy. But you don't have to live that way. You can be the witness, the quiet presence that watches the waves roll in without needing to jump into the ocean. When the mind is calm enough to observe without attaching, you experience what Buddhists call mindfulness. Not just in silence or meditation, but in how you live, speak, and respond. You become grounded like a mountain, unmoved by every breeze. Now imagine your life like that. Imagine walking through a difficult day and not absorbing every complaint, every comment, every flicker of doubt. Not because you're numb, but because you've learned how to protect your peace. You're not cold, you're clear. You don't shut down your heart. You just stop giving it away to every passing thought. And once you begin to live this way, once you truly master the art of watching without becoming, you don't just weather the storm anymore, you rise above it. Because strong minds don't fight the wind, they rise by becoming the sky. 3. Care deeply but not widely. There's a subtle form of suffering many of us carry, one that doesn't scream but slowly drains us. It's the kind of pain that comes from trying to care about everything and everyone all at once. You want to be kind, supportive, aware, and always available. But somewhere along the way, your energy begins to fade. Not because you stopped caring, but because you started caring too widely. Like a single candle trying to light every room in a mansion, your flame begins to dim. Buddhism offers a gentle reminder. Care deeply, but not widely. It doesn't ask you to stop caring. It asks you to be wise with your care. To care without limits is not strength. it's a recipe for burnout. To care with intention is clarity. We live in a time when we're pulled in every direction. Causes, conversations, opinions, news, expectations. And in the effort to be everywhere and everything, we end up losing ourselves. But peace doesn't come from fixing every problem. It comes from knowing which ones are yours to hold. There's a simple yet powerful question that can guide your focus. Am I giving my energy to what nourishes me or to what drains me? The world will always ask more of you, but you don't have to say yes to every call. You don't have to chase every fire to prove your warmth. Think of the story of the monk who was asked how he remained calm amid the world's noise. He smiled and said, "Because I know what's mine to carry and what isn't." That kind of clarity is what frees us. It's not detachment, it's wisdom in motion. In a culture that rewards overextension and glorifies exhaustion, boundaries are sacred acts of self-respect. Saying no doesn't make you cold, it makes you honest. And when you say no to what doesn't align with your values, you're actually saying yes to your soul. This is the quiet art of protecting your light. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Direct your love toward what truly matters. Not every argument deserves your voice. Not every opinion needs a response. Your energy is too precious to be spent on battles that don't bring you peace. In Buddhist thought, compassion is never careless. It's clear-eyed. It doesn't say, "Give everything." It asks, "What is truly worthy of your attention?" So audit your heart. Look at where your care is going. Are you trying to fix what was never broken? Are you carrying someone else's pain as if it's your purpose? It's okay to let some of it go. It's okay to be focused. What you need is to protect your flame, to guard your peace and to care deeply for the right things in the right way. Because when your care is clear and intentional, your light won't burn out. It will burn brighter. 4. The freedom of non-attachment. There's probably something in your life right now that feels unbearably heavy. Maybe it's a goal you're chasing with clenched fists, a version of yourself you're too afraid to outgrow, or a relationship that no longer fits, but you're holding on anyway. The weight you feel isn't from the world. It's from the grip you have on how you believe things should be. And that's the trap of attachment. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a truth that whispers through every teaching. Attachment is the root of all suffering. It's not just a poetic line, it's a mirror reflecting the way we cling to people, to identities, to outcomes, and the pain that comes when reality refuses to play along. But non-attachment isn't coldness, it's not giving up. In fact, it's the most profound expression of love, a love that doesn't possess, a love that doesn't panic when things shift, a love that understands change isn't loss, it's life unfolding. Picture a single leaf drifting down a river. It doesn't fight the current, it doesn't try to float upstream, it simply follows the water's lead, dancing with whatever comes. That's what non-attachment looks like. It's not indifference, it's trust. It's not weakness, it's surrender with strength. When you stop trying to control the current, something beautiful happens. You discover peace in the flow. Most of our suffering comes from our expectations, from clinging to a script that life never agreed to follow. We believe we must be the successful one, the strong one, the one who always has it together. But when reality doesn't match that picture, we don't just feel disappointment, we feel unworthy. Yet here's the truth most people miss. You can chase your dreams with passion without attaching your identity to them. You can love someone fiercely without gripping them tightly. You can experience life fully without insisting it stay the same. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you stop trying to force what isn't yours to control. It's the courage to say, I trust the unfolding. I accept what is. And in that release, you'll feel something lift, a sudden lightness, like dropping a burden you didn't realize you were carrying. In that empty space, something unexpected arrives. Clarity, stillness, truth. Ask yourself, what am I clinging to that's creating tension within me? Is it an old version of who you think you should be? A plan that keeps slipping through your fingers? A fear of what you'll lose if you finally let go? Whatever it is, know this. You won't find peace by holding on tighter. You'll find it by loosening your grip. Every day offers you the chance to practice this. When a plan unravels, can you pause instead of panic? When someone challenges you, can you listen without clinging to your ego? When the unknown shows up at your doorstep, can you welcome it with openness instead of resistance? That's the heart of non-attachment. It doesn't mean abandoning your values. It means standing in them so confidently that you no longer need to control the outcome. You don't drown just because you fall into the water. You drown when you refuse to let go. Life will always move, and your peace depends on whether you fight that motion or learn to float with it. Letting go isn't giving up, it's waking up. Lesson 5. Respond, don't react. There's a sacred gap, barely a breath, between what life throws at you and how you choose to meet it. In that tiny space lives your calm, your clarity, and your true power. But most never notice it. They lash out without thinking, like a flame igniting in dry grass. The words spill, the emotions explode, and soon after comes regret. Why did I say that? Or why did I let that control me? But ancient wisdom, especially in Buddhism, offers a life-changing shift. Don't react. Respond. Picture a still, clear lake. Only when undisturbed does it mirror the sky above. But stir it, and the reflection becomes chaos. The same goes for the mind. Only stillness brings insight. Think about the times you've been triggered, when someone insulted you, when a plan unraveled, when life blindsided you. Your muscles clenched, your breath quickened, and before you knew it, you snapped. But imagine if, in that moment, you paused. One conscious breath, 1 second of stillness. You'd see the emotion, but you wouldn't become it. That pause is everything. It's where awareness lives. It's the moment where wisdom begins. As the Buddha taught, do not let the actions of others disturb your inner peace. But that peace can only exist if you learn to stay rooted in your own calm, your unshakable inner stillness. Ask yourself honestly, am I acting from emotion or choosing with awareness? One path leads to pain and apology, the other leads to strength and peace. Reactions are wild, rushed, and defensive. Responses are deliberate, grounded, and wise. Reacting is driven by ego and fear. Responding comes from being present, and being present only grows when you're awake in the moment, when you create even a tiny gap between what happens and how you act. Imagine a monk sitting in the middle of a busy, loud market, kids running, sellers shouting, dogs barking. Still, the monk stays peaceful. He's not unaware. He's simply grounded, firm in himself. He doesn't let the outside world pull him apart. That's what it means to respond. To stay calm in a world that's always moving. Life will challenge you. People will push your limits. Problems will show up without warning. But the real question is, can you stay calm in the chaos? Can you remain peaceful when surrounded by noise? The next time you feel your anger rising or your nerves reacting, pause, take a breath, just one quiet moment. That's all it takes to shift from adding fuel to the fire to being the one who puts it out. Mindfulness isn't about doing nothing, it's about making it a daily habit. It's the ability to observe your emotions without holding on to them. Through this practice, you build strength, not because you control others, but because you've learned to guide yourself. true strength doesn't come from loud responses. It comes from quiet choices. Power isn't in how loudly you speak, but in how calmly you react. In a world pulling you in different directions, where past regrets and future worries follow you, there is one thing that can change everything. The skill of being present, right here, right now, just as it is. We often think peace will come when things improve, when problems disappear, or when we're elsewhere doing something else. But the truth is, peace isn't a destination. It's right where you are, right now. Think about it. How often do you find yourself thinking about the future, worrying about what might happen, or stuck in the past, wishing you had acted differently? Neither is real anymore. The future hasn't come yet, and the past is already gone. So all the stress, fear, and overthinking happen because your mind is elsewhere. The moment you realize this, something shifts inside you. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop postponing your happiness. You stop trying to control everything, and instead you start to settle into the fullness of the now. The present moment is where your power lies. It's where life truly happens. It's where you experience joy, peace, connection, and freedom. Not in the past or the future, but in this very moment. So here's a challenge for today. Take just one moment. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and notice what's around you. The air, the sounds, the stillness. Pay attention to your breath, how it enters and leaves your body. You don't need to do anything else. Just be. This simple act of being present builds mental strength. It shows you that peace isn't something you chase. You don't have to fix everything. You just need to pause long enough to notice the life happening around you. And here's the beautiful part. The more you stay present, the more connected you feel. You begin to notice beauty in the little things. A warm drink, a kind word, a walk in nature. Peace isn't somewhere far away. It's always been inside you, just waiting for you to notice. Being present doesn't mean you stop working toward your goals or solving problems. It simply means that while doing those things, you stay in the present. The extra lesson is this. True peace comes when you stop waiting for life to be different. You start accepting life just as it is. And when you do, you begin to experience freedom. So whenever you feel stress or fear, remember, you can always return to this moment. Right here, right now. Peace is already within you. All you need to do is be present to feel it. As we wrap up this journey, I want to leave you with one final thought. Peace is not a place to reach. It's something you keep practicing. The power to transform your life comes from letting go, from observing without clinging, from caring wisely, and from embracing freedom without attachment. As you live by these principles, you develop a mind that is both calm and strong. But remember, this is just the beginning. Every step you take toward peace, clarity, and strength is progress. Keep going, keep letting go, keep observing without reacting, and most importantly, keep returning to the present moment. That's where true freedom lives. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we'll continue exploring timeless lessons that guide us through life with strength, peace, and clarity. And, as always, leave a comment below. Share your thoughts, your questions, or any moments where you felt these changes in your own journey. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for being here.